Hello, welcome to Astrology Study Group. This is Astro Breze, and we're going to look at the transits for the week ahead, starting January 10th, 2023. And it's actually kind of a boring few days here. Kind of, it's not like one of those bang bang things, but let's look at what's going on. So we're coming into Tuesday here, and there's a trine. Let's go look over here. Actually, the biggest thing, let's start here. The biggest thing we see is the real slowdown of Mars. So, we see it's at 8 degrees Gemini, and it says retrograde, but we'll go ahead in a minute, and then you'll see that slowing down. But also, there's Venus over here at 9 degrees Aquarius, and it's exactly squaring the nodes. I'd say that's kind of the biggest thing here. So we've got that Venus in Aquarius would be, think about it being the middle, she's in the stress point, of these two nodes. The nodes are in fixed signs. So I would think with Venus being in sort of the detached Aquarius sign, it's easier to be less in the physical world of things, and maybe more into the spiritual realm of just the spiritual side, because that's the balance point. Whenever we have a planet between the two there, there's a balance between your push into the material, the North Node, the reality world, that we're all really focused on living in and getting pushed too much into, and at least in our culture, maybe so much in certain other cultures that are more spiritually based. But when we're focused on that South Node and not fearing it, like, oh no, we're going to get rid of things, it's going to be taken from me. It's like, this is the point where I think we need to focus on our within, breathing techniques, meditation, having the quiet time, turn off your mind, listen, not be so outward, but being inward. So Venus right in the middle of this point is pretty significant. We're just starting into the dark, the darkness of winter, at least in the Northern Hemisphere. But the balance point of that fixed energy kind of reminds me of the Wheel of Fortune card a bit. And then now, just when the moon was when the moon was in Leo a few days ago, it was kind of almost making a grand square. It was like within a little bit of tweak there. But anyway, I think that balance point, and I'm spending just a little bit of time on that, today, because it's like ringing right in here. It's right in that balance point, and things are going to shift a little bit. And I think if we just staying focused on our inner side, being in balance between the spiritual world, the inner and the outer world, with Venus there. So maybe tonight, if you're listening to this, and pay attention to your dreams, and then also the next few days, because this is kind of a relative time. It doesn't just stop. It's kind of here, this influence, as Venus is moving through. And then we have to look forward to, now you should know that all these planets behind here are going to be moving through that point. The sun, when it moves into Aquarius, will be at that point. Mercury, once it goes direct, and starts again, it will then go over that point or in there. So we can expect those planets there too. All righty. And then the moon, the moon's going to be making, just a lot of the aspects coming when it's in Virgo now, but it's going to be coming up in opposing Neptune. And then when it moves into Aries, it'll be opposing Jupiter. All right. Let's move on. Wednesday, kind of the same. See, we didn't have a whole lot of other, we have some things just about building, other than the moon. Venus moved off of that. Let's see. There's not a whole lot going on in there. So let's go to Thursday. See, this is an interesting week, because it's kind of like, oh, and then it builds, and then it kind of builds. So Thursday, we're kind of starting into this little midpoint thing here with the sun on one end, and because it's at 22 degrees right there, and it's coming into making up the one side of this little well, the sun is moving into a sextile with Neptune. See, it's like it's 22 degrees. So on Thursday, and it's starting to move into it with Saturn right in the middle, midpoint. So the reason I'm saying it this way, because the sun is building it. Neptune and Saturn are in the semi-sextile arrangement where they don't get along there. They're just, they don't, it's like two people in the same room that don't know each other, both of them on their cell phones. There's no communication really going on other than they're in the same room. So they're at 23 degrees, but there's nothing that these signs have in common. And the sun is coming into this little conversation, and it's coming in and it's making a nice sextile over to Neptune, but then it's forcing like Saturn to be in the middle of this. So we go ahead one more day. There we go. Friday. Yeah. So you can see Friday, it's perfect there. It's a sun and making that sextile over to Neptune. So let's unpack that there now so you can see it all. So Sun, Neptune, we have maybe idealism, that it's the sun, and we've got that expansiveness of that dreamy Neptune, maybe putting our dreams, our visions, our hopes, but then Saturn is somehow going, but that's not real. You're not bringing it down to earth. It's that, that's the turd in the punch bowl right there, Saturn, as usual. But nonetheless, it's like the little doubt or the thing that's kind of making the illusions. Either it can go both ways. It could be the voice of reality in an over optimistic kind of situation, or it could be the sour person spoiling the nice sextile between these two planets. Or like kind of win yourself, not just person, but that energy, that Saturnian energy that not let you have fun or to not let you have your dream. So, just kind of be careful of that or be aware of that as it builds, because by Friday it's building, but it doesn't mean that it's going to be on Friday. This is building through the week here. And this would be the one other thing other than Mars stationing. See, look here now, Mars is stationed. Still, right? It's starting to turn forward. So Friday, it's like pretty still. And that makes it intense. So if we have Mars here, and it's stationed, that a planet stationed is more intense because it's not moving. So we have Mars now it's kind of like the pendulum is of energy is about to swing the other way. So there could be a little frustration because you're not running fast enough. It's like a cat running on a rug and on a little throw rug. It rumples the rug up and it doesn't go anywhere. Sort of like that. So it's a little frustrating like that. Or the speech could be rushed or frustrated, or ideas could be, like just not quite free flowing, a little bunched up before it gets going, because Mercury, if you notice, even the day before, Mercury is in a coming into it actually, and it would be the next day. Anyway, so Mercury, because it's retrograde, it's going to be backing up into a in conjunct with Mars. So speech actions may be, again, a little frustrated, a little disconjointed, discombobulated, whatever that word is, because we have Mercury communications, a retrograde, still messed up, and it's getting close to its station too in a few days. So it's getting intense. Let's just go ahead and see. Retrograde, isn't it like the 18th or something? Yeah, 17th. Yeah, so look at the 17th, next Tuesday, right? It stations. So let's just go back here. So it's pretty still as well. So we have like this, they remember now, if you can't get your head and your mind or your hands and your actions and all that happening yet, that's why. So that urges us with back to the, we started this week with Venus being in that midpoint of of getting into the earthly stuff, getting your things together, making you what you want happen with that spiritual side, with your breath work, with grounding, with your getting in touch with God, whatever that means to you, going inside, stilling your body, stilling your mind, listening. So that is kind of the underlying statement of this week. And let's just move on a little bit. What else was there? See, Friday. Oh yeah, let's go back here. Friday also, Venus is coming into a square with Uranus. So there could be some sudden insights about what you want, some sudden insights, sudden or struggles, breaking through, maybe you got something that's kind of like come into a head, and you just got to persevere through it, because we got fixed signs, but you've got that explosiveness of Uranus. This also makes me think of fixed Earth. I don't like it for thinking about Earth changes, earthquakes, mudslides, bad weather, things eroding, fixed energy, moving quickly, with Uranus there. Just like kind of look at astrometeorology, astro weather. So kind of beware of that coming into the weekend, especially if you're in areas that are prone to that activity, and if there's bad weather. Okay, I'm just kind of feeling, West Coast, also New Madrid. I kind of been thinking about that in the back of my head. All right, what else we got coming up? Saturday and Sunday. Oh yeah, we also have all right, Saturday. Yeah. Okay, now we also have Mercury. Look, we started out with Venus doing one thing. Now we have Mercury making a trine to the north node and a sextile to the south node. So come around the weekend, look at Saturday. Mars's state is now moving direct, even though Mercury is still retrograding. We do have a blessing on that level. It's still a little in conjunct with the Mars, but look at Mercury making a trine to the north node. So there's still, it's like the time that there's planning and ideas still, because we still have the sun, just having made that aspect to Neptune, right? It's just past that here now. So that inner work will pay off. Mercury is making that nice aspect, that trine to the north node, and then that sextile to the south node. So that is very, very harmonious, to straighten things out. I think this to me says, listen, make some time to go within and listen. This is where those insights will happen. All right, Saturday, and then, Sunday. Okay, and then we have that in conjunct. Yeah, we already showed you that with the Mercury and the in conjunct to Mars here. So you just got to realize that your mind and your mouth and your hands or your projects is not going to get going on the physical, but it's going to be on that mental planning, bringing into fruition on that dream level, almost like working on manifestation, on inner manifestation, doing things where you're bringing stuff to you. Bring me a taco. Pulling stuff in, not so much outward, making stuff happen. You're not the hammer right now. Yeah, kind of a thing. You're not the hammer. All right, and moving ahead to Sunday. See, Mercury is getting pretty stationary. We already seen that. There it is. Tuesday, it's stationary, and then it goes, direct in a day or two after that. Thursday next week, which we'll see next week. Don't get ahead of ourselves. All right, that's pretty much it. It's kind of a theme. You can see that whole theme of the week. And the whole theme is listen, go within, do your breath work, positive, using that quality of air, getting your intuition honed in. All right, thanks for listening, and we'll talk next week. Bye.